Every time I learn something new about this season, I just get I so for most of you who watched this season as well, one of the characters that I was really interested in coming back was Sloane. Sloane was Luther's wife from the Sparrow timeline. Basically, she's a Sparrow. She gets together with Luther. They have a really, really great dynamic. She's with the team during the final big battle in season 3. The universe essentially gets reset, and Sloane disappears. And Luther decides that, he's going to go off and he's going to essentially find his wife. Cool. We didn't get that in season 4. He mentions her one time, and then she is never brought up ever again. And now we're starting to get answers as to why. Steve Blackman, the showrunner, oh, I've got a name to a face now, you motherfucker. Came out and he's speaking to TV Line about Sloane. I never got to do the Luther Sloane storyline that I wanted to do this season. Blackman shares in the video above when asked how the final season's small episode count in just 6 installments compared to the usual 10 impacted its narrative. I wanted Sloane to be alive, just not remembering Luther, and him trying to get her to love him again. For logistical reasons, we just couldn't make it work. We just couldn't make it happen. Fortunately, Hopper wasn't left too crestfallen by the lack of closure for Luther and Sloane. I mean, why would he give a shit? He ruined everybody else's fucking character arc. I mean, I wouldn't be crestfallen as well if I treated my show like absolute fucking garbage and didn't bring the story full circle for any of my fucking characters. I, in all honesty, wouldn't give a damn about answering any of the fucking questions that are essentially presented throughout the rest of this goddamn show. I would just be interested in collecting a check and then going the fuck home and waiting for that call from Netflix to create another fucking series that I'm going to ruin in about 5 goddamn years. Why would I care about any of my characters or answering any of the questions that my community and fans have essentially had all the way back since season 1? Let's just wrap this shit up so I can go off and make Star Wars. Oh, wait a minute. That's not Blackman. That was Dan and Dave. Same pieces of shit, same toilet, whatever. There's an element where it's never really mentioned throughout season 4. He says, "What happened to her?" Yeah, motherfucker, she disappeared. You couldn't take time out of your day to fucking get Sloane to come back, but you took time out of your day to essentially have both Lila and Five get into a freaking relationship, which was completely out of nowhere, and people are completely eating your ass up online over this horrible fucking decision. But it's just another thing that you can just turn and you can point to and you can go, "Oh, hey, look, they actually had interesting storylines for characters." Because to be quite honest, what does Luther do this season? Nothing. He serves no purpose outside of comedic relief, which is insane to me because when we get versions of Luther from the past, he looks and feels like a completely different fucking character. Like the Luther that we get, it's kind of like Shazam Fury of the Gods, where the Shazam character and the Billy Batson character feel like two completely different people for horrible reasons. Where Billy Batson feels like the mature adult in the room, whereas Shazam feels as though it's like a 3-year-old toddler with superpowers. When you see older Luther and younger Luther feels like the person that would be leading a team. Like that guy who's tactical. Younger Luther feels like a Robin. He feels and moves kind of sort of like, I would say, either Tim Drake. I would definitely put him more in the Tim Drake category of Robins than I would put him in the Nightwing category. I don't know why I'm fucking goofing on Nightwing's fucking name at this point in time. I've spoken about him dozens of times before, but I wouldn't put him in the Nightwing category. He's not as charismatic as the Dick Grayson Nightwing, but he feels a lot more like the Tim Drake, where he's walking through, he's assessing where everybody's at. He's pulling the teams together. He's like the stalwart leader. That looks cool. Then when you get to adult Luther, he's an idiot. He's a joke, and he's pretty much treated as the butt of everybody's joke where nobody, in all honesty, takes him seriously in any way, shape, or form. Speaking of another fucking relationship that we completely freaking forgot about in regards to Luther, whatever happened to his relationship with Allison? Completely disappeared. We never go down the path of whether or not when they were kids, if she used her rumor powers on him, and her using her rumor powers may have been the reason why his personality completely fucking changed, where she made him fall desperately in love with her and then ended up ruining that man's entire life. Do we explore that? Are there better storylines that we could have explored, such as that are far more interesting than what we got? Absolutely. But when you keep hiring clowns, you can't really be shocked when what they give you is a pie full of shit. I'm working through some motherfucking therapy in regards to this goddamn. Like I think what I needed was something to hate, which is horrible to say, but I feel as though narratively I've been missing like that one show that I can just take a step back and look at and despise on all levels. And the Umbrella Academy season 4 is definitely that fucking thing, because your boy was in a slump, but I'm no longer in a slump because low key I'm pissed off. But I don't know. Like when you have your showrunner coming out saying, "Hey, you know, we only had 6 episodes, so we didn't really feel like wrapping up any of the storylines, but then we decided to do like random garbage bullshit that we thought that people were going to like because it's like cool and edgy." At that point in time, you can only hope that that showrunner is just picked up and dropped in the exact same landfill we dropped Dan and Dave, and the exact same landfill we dropped the showrunner for The Witcher in, and never seen again.